want to put in the chat what kind of business they have, then that also helps me tailor the talk better. So if in the chat you just put what you do, that always helps.
Fantastic. Great idea with the LinkedIn.
Hi, Virginia. What kind of business do you have? Oh, you have a bar, David? Okay, what kind of bar? Do you have food too? No food, okay. And Robin has human services. Jonathan has the film festival, nice. Neighborhood bar. Virginia does directory communications events for the Simi Valley Chamber of Commerce. Patty sells cleaning products. Terry has a brewery, tap room with no food also. Bob does CFO consulting. Ryan does bunker supplies. I don't know what that is. Let's see, Shauna, retail chocolate store, nice. Lester does equipment financing and broker. Government contractor Ryan. Shelby does Lompoc Valley Chamber of Commerce, nice. I think someone got skipped because there was a whole bunch of ones there.
That's wonderful. Thank you all so much for including that.
Then Kishiana, interpreting translation services. Rosanna is publicly, let's see, Friends of Thousand Oaks Library. I like Friends of Libraries. The Friends of the Berkeley Public Library, I've done a lot of work with them. I've spoken there like 35 times or something. Let's see. Let's see then, who is this? Business consulting for Mexican companies that want to do business in the United States, especially food. Are you going to go to the Fancy Food Show? The Fancy Food Show in Vegas in like next week, actually. You want to go to that. Melino. I've been in El Restaurante Mexican. It's a Restaurante magazine. It's a Mexican restaurant magazine for the food industry. I think it was a 7-page article in that magazine, and they quoted me all kinds of stuff. Economic development incentives. That's Mary. Business development analyst for the city of Santa Clara. It's Kate. A lot of good people in here. Lexi does therapeutic consulting for kids and young adults. Therapeutic. You should tell me more about therapeutic consulting, what that is. And then Kelly does pediatrics, ER, doctor, after hour urgent care. Nice. And then hi, Cameron's here. Okay, hi Cameron. And then Lester put his LinkedIn. And then, okay. And then retail. Mina, what kind of retail? Oh, it's art. Okay. And then Cameron does TV production and photography business. And then Carlos owns a bridal shop. Nice.
Wow, we have a lot of great attendees.
So Carlos, is it, do you do consignment too, or like one-off people buy or that kind of stuff? My favorite is I had a client that had a super high-end like truck, like a food truck, but super high-end, and it was converted where it was a mobile wedding gown thing, and you would tell them your style, and they bring like 5-6 gowns, and then you would try them on in their truck, like high-end truck thing, but then they would send it to you. It was cool. Retail store. Okay.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're ready to kick it off here. For the folks that are just now joining us, please feel free to introduce yourself and include what type of business you have in the chat. But welcome everyone to today's EDC webinar. My name is Tracy Schneider. I'm the Economic Development Collaboratives Communications and Marketing Manager, and we're really excited to have you join us today. Before we get started, we're going to review just a couple of housekeeping items. As this Zoom is held in webinar format, everyone is muted and your cameras are off. This is being recorded, and you'll receive an email with a link to the recording, any resources that we share, as well as a copy of today's PowerPoint presentation early next week. At any time, please submit any questions you have using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If you're dialing in by phone today, you can submit your questions via email. Email your questions to webinar@edcollaborative.com. Again, that's webinar@edcollaborative.com. But if you're joining us by computer today, of course, feel free to use that Q&A button. No need to email it in. If you run into any technical issues, please put them in the chat. Stephanie Gonzalez, our bilingual marketing assistant, will be available to assist you. For our new and returning friends, we thank you for joining us. Since 1996, the EDC has been focused on providing a pathway to business growth, economic prosperity, and high quality of life for all. Today, our EDC serves Ventura, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles County-based businesses, community partners, and civic leaders. Hosting the region's Small Business Development Center, the EDC provides no-cost professional consulting with a team of over 50 business advisors. And as a community-based lender, our loan program has funded over $21 million in requests and has maintained a commitment to reaching underserved communities with 58% of our loans and 64% of the loan capital awarded to minority and women-owned businesses since 2013. At the end of today's webinar, we're going to share more information on how to get signed up with our services. Signing up as an SBDC client is free. Takes just a couple of minutes and provides you with lifetime access to all of our no-cost services. Our excellent staff and advisors are ready to help you build the business that you've always wanted. And today we're going to be discussing digital marketing strategies for measurable results. Our presenter is David Mitroff, and he's one of our very own Small Business Development Center advisors. As you're going to see, he's a fantastic presenter with a ton of great information. And the best part about him being with us today is that if you want to work with David after this to have a one-on-one advising appointment, you can. We're going to share instructions on how to get that set up and so that you can access David's personalized advice at no cost, thanks to our SBDC. But for now, though, I invite you to enjoy his presentation. I'll hop back in when we're ready to answer some questions. And with that, David, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. For sure. So, if people have questions, they can put it in either the chat or the Q&A. That's fine with me, and I'll try to answer them as I go. And then we can also answer more at the end. And let's see. And also, a couple other people. Kelly helps with brain injury, and Rich does a nonprofit accredited zoo. So there's a lot of cool people, from bridal stuff to restaurants to bars to zoos to ER doctor and brain person. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover ways to grow your business. It doesn't matter if it's for-profit, nonprofit, doesn't matter what industry. I'm going to cover how to grow your business. Number one. Number two, I'm going to talk about how to attract more customers. Then I'm going to talk about active versus passive marketing. I'm going to talk about data-driven marketing. Data-driven marketing is a class I teach. I taught several times at UC Berkeley. Then I'm going to talk about your website and the social media ecosystem. There's 9 key areas. I wrote there's a book on the right-hand side. If you want a PDF of it, I can send it to you. It's on Amazon. And I wrote about the 9 key areas of your online presence. And it's the idea that you can score your online presence and you can make it go up and down, kind of like a FICO credit score. And then LinkedIn, I'm going to talk about how powerful LinkedIn is, regardless of the type of business you have. All right, so and the next steps. And then it looks like Jennifer does virtual yoga, and Arlene does facial capture, music stuff, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, cool. All right, so this slide just tells you I'm famous. I've done a lot of stuff. I have my own consulting firm, but I'm an advisor for the Small Business Development Centers, the SBDCs, both in Northern California and Southern California, and I enjoy giving people advice. And then you go do stuff, and if you do stuff, then I can give you more advice. That's the way the Small Business Development Centers work. I founded tons of companies. I teach at University of California, Berkeley. I'm a Google mentor for Google's Startup Accelerator. I did a TED Talk about 3 years ago. I'm doing another TED Talk at Purdue in Indiana in 20 days, actually. So they asked me a couple of weeks ago to do it, and I don't actually know what I'm going to talk on, so I'm trying to make that up later today. And then I've been in lots of magazines and stuff like that. All right, so regardless of who you are, what you do, what stage your business is at, this slide I added in probably the last 200 or however many presentations I've done during COVID or more, because this really works. So right now, these are the #1 ways to grow your business, your organization, improve your life, everything. So right now, you want to focus. So if you write down a list of 10 things that you cannot control, because there's so many things right now we cannot control, just write those 10 things out, set that aside. Then write down a list of the 10 things you can control and focus on those. You got to really focus. Right now, there's so many distractions, so many things going on. You got to focus on what you can control, okay? Then being consistent. Consistency is about having a list of the top 20 strategic partners. Every business, it doesn't matter who you are, zoos, okay? There are other zoos. There are other zoo directors. You want to go find 5 other zoos, 5 other zoo directors, and put them on a list, and those are people that you talk to because you share knowledge, you share stuff. Or let's say you do real estate, you're a real estate agent. Find 5 other real estate agents that sell to the exact same people you do in the same area. Why? Because you can share knowledge with each other. The other thing is, someone might call and say, I got this big zebra, what do I do with it? And they call your zoo and you go, oh no, we can't take zebras because we already have too many zebras. And you can tell them, but this other zoo can take the zebra. Or real estate, that I don't really sell that home, or that's too, or this, that. So you can trade zebras or trade clients, okay? So have a top 20 list. The first 5 are people exactly like you that do exactly what you do. The next 5 are people in your industry. So they're real estate agents, but they do commercial real estate and you do residential. Okay. The next 5 are people that are associated. So if you do real estate, it would be mortgage brokers, financial advisors, it would be banks, it would be people that do construction companies, people that flip houses, people that are in your industry but they're not a real estate agent. Okay. Or people that are associated to kind of who you are, what you do. And now let's say but David, I'm a chocolate store. What does that have to do with me? No, you want 5 other people that have retail stores near you, on your street, in your area, and that you can talk to and exchange ideas. It would be nice if also you found 5 other chocolatiers, because you can share what's how importing and exporting coffee beans and chocolate, cacao beans and stuff, the price has been going crazy. What do you do about that? Where is going on? You can share ideas. And then you find 5 other people that don't sell chocolate. They maybe sell coffee, or they sell to different products, or maybe whatever. Then you find the last 5 is 5 people that you just like, that are nice people, that know people, that introduce you to people. So you end up with a list of 20 people, 20 strategic partners. And those are the people that you want to follow up with and stay in contact with. And your job, out of everything that I'm talking about, your number 1 job is to have 3 lunch meetings or virtual meetings or coffees or teas or chocolate bars sharing, or go to their zoos, 3 a month, 3 times 12, 3 times 12. Because if you do that, that's 36 meetings a year. And that's, and now what happens is, if you don't do it the way I'm saying, like 3, if you do, I got too much stuff, I'm too busy, oh my God, and then you stop doing stuff, you're going to be less selective, you're going to charge less, you're going to be more desperate. All of a sudden, you're going to go 0 meeting, and then also I got to meet, and you go meet with 6 people. All right. So you got to do 3, 3, 3, 3. So what you want to do is put together a list of your top 20 strategic partners, put the first name, last name, their email, website, LinkedIn, make sure you're connected to them on LinkedIn, and then last date of contact. And your job is to make sure that last date of contact with those people is less than 3 months. Because if you do that, as soon as I'm saying this, some people on here going, oh my gosh, these people gave me a referral a long time ago and I haven't talked to them since then. Call them up, say, hey, it's been a little while, I want to check in with you. Don't sell. It's what you've been doing. This is what I've been doing. What have you been doing? All right. So focus, top 10 things that you can control. Top 20 list, strategic partners, meet with people, connect with people, share ideas, exchange referrals. And then top of mind, sending out a monthly newsletter is it is by far the most cost-effective thing you can do, is sending out a monthly newsletter. You can send one out right now still. Say Happy New Year. Are people going to read it? Probably not. But it's from David Mitroff. Subject line, excited about the new year. And they go, oh, David Mitroff, excited about the new year. That's positive. That's good. They think about you. And then that leads to opportunities. So send out a monthly newsletter, even if no one reads it. Last one is the event effect. The event effect is every single person on here. I read your different job titles and companies and things that you do. Every single person. And if you can't think of it, put it in the chat. I'll tell you how to do it. Every single person here needs to do an event. You can do an office hour on Eventbrite. You can do a virtual event like we're doing right now. Every single person needs to do some kind of event. Why? Because the event effect is another book I wrote. It's on Amazon. You want the PDF of it, I can send to you. The event effect is that my grandmother, every January, would invite every single person she knew to her house. Every January. Invite everybody. Even people she's like, David, I don't really like that person that much, but I still invited them. She invited every single person she knew every January to her house. They'd all come. And after they left, she said, David, I'm so happy. I said, why is that, Grandma? Because now it's January. I don't have to do anything for the rest of the year. All these people owe me. All these people for the entire year will invite me to all their events, and I'm done. So the event effect is if you invite people to an event, even if it's an office hour. Hey, next Thursday from 8 to 8:30, I'll be answering questions about brain injury. And you invite people. What, they don't come? Doesn't matter. You invited. You're not selling, you're inviting. Genesis fixed cell phones and tablets. Yeah, so that would be a perfect example. You put on Eventbrite, Eventbrite for free, and say how how to repair your iPhone, blah blah, or you know what the hardest thing is? Putting those screen protectors on the damn thing right. So how to put a screen protector on your iPhone the right way. And if you want, we can answer questions about cracked phones and this thing and how to protect your phone the right way. And guess what? Is anyone going to show up or not? I don't know. But you put it on Eventbrite, and then you put it on LinkedIn, and you invite people, and you invite different people, and people might show, they might not. It doesn't matter. But the point is, you're promoting your business. You're not selling, and you're promoting by inviting. That's how it works. All right. So these things here, if you just do one of these or all four of these, you will grow your business by accident. Like you can't. It forces you to grow your business. All right. And if you have any questions, put in the comment or chat as I go. So now, when it comes to business growth, there's two approaches. There's traditional marketing, selling, networking, which is I only care about. I sell cars. So all I care about is, do you want to buy a car or not? What car do you drive? How old's your car? You have a new car? Okay, then forget you. So that's very traditional, very focused. Engagement marketing is I'll connect with everybody. So on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on whatever, yeah, I'll connect with everybody, unless they're going to spam me and stuff. But I'll connect with everybody. Why? Because everybody knows somebody that wants to buy a car. Everybody knows somebody. The question I ask a lot is, do you own a Tesla? Do you drive a Tesla? No, but do you know someone does? Everybody knows at least one person drives a Tesla. So you can so by casting a wider net and connecting with more people, that's engagement marketing. The idea that your email newsletter, the idea that your LinkedIn, the idea that when you host events, just invite a whole bunch of people. Now, of course, you can have more tailored things and more specific things, but by casting a wider net, you're going to reach a bigger audience and you're going to get more customers in the long run. But don't spend the same amount of time on all your customers, because you got to be more targeted on the ones that are the right fit for you, of course. All right. So with that being said, and again, this is recorded. You'll get a copy of this presentation. I cover a lot. Anyone on here can talk to me for free through the Small Business Development Center, the EDC SBDC. There's a link in the chat. They'll also put it out there for you. But on the bottom of every slide is my email. You can email me too. But I'm more happy to talk to any of you and customize what you're trying to do and come up with a business growth strategy for anyone on here. All right. But this is, what are your current marketing efforts? And this is also in my book, the 9 Carrier book, and I can send you a PDF of it, but if you email me. The biggest thing is there's active marketing, which is during the day, AM, active marketing, passive marketing, PM, at night. Okay, so you have active marketing, passive marketing. I, over the years, added more and more and actually do all of these right now, okay? But every business, over time, you want to incorporate and do a mixture of different ones, more or less. But you have active marketing, which is cold calling. Pick up the phone and just cold calling people, or emailing somebody you don't know and say, hey, I'd like to connect with you. Direct mail. I mail out copies of some of my books. Direct mail, certain industries, for the zoo and certain industry, mailing stuff works. All right. Then you have events. We're hosting one right now. Strategic partners. That's the top 20 list I talked about. You got to have that top 20 list and go follow up with those strategic partners. Giving talks. I'm doing a talk right now. Then you have referrals versus introductions. Okay, this is actually important. So if you ask people for referrals, even your mother, like in my case, Mom, can you give me a referral? She'll say no. Or she'll say, well, I don't even know what you really do. Why am I going to give you a referral? Or what's your blood type, or how much you charge? They ask for brochures. So don't ask for referrals anymore, especially for your mother. Ask for introductions. Introduction, it's the same. Just ask for introductions. You won't believe what happens when you do that. You say, I really enjoyed talking to you. Is there anyone else you think I should talk to? That's not asking for a referral. That's saying, is there anyone else you think I should talk to? Or, I really like you. You're very nice. You're smart. You're attractive. You know what you're talking about. Is there anyone else like you that I should meet? And they'll be like, yeah, there's this person over here. It's like, or, you're an attorney. I really like working with attorneys. Are there any other attorneys that you know that I should talk to? That's different than asking a referral. So try it. So at the end of every strategic partner meeting, you ask them, I really enjoyed meeting with you. As always, I really, I get along with you great. Is there anyone else you think that I should talk to that's like us? And they'll usually say yes, and they'll introduce you. They'll just send an email. I just met David, or I've known David a little while, want to introduce you. That's not a referral. The next is email marketing. We covered that in the first slide. Email marketing cost you MailChimp, Constant Contact, Robly. MailChimp, Constant Contact, Robly cost you maybe, $40 a month or something for send it to 3,000 people. Okay. If you send an email to 3,000 people, even if they don't open it, they're seeing your name, and then something happens. Is by far the best cost-effective marketing there is. So that's active marketing. Then you have passive marketing during the night while you sleep, PM. So that's gonna be like your website. Yes, you can you can optimize your website and do different things on it, but in general, it sits there. And then you have magazine ads or billboards, things like that. Those are passive. Social media, and why I'm gonna talk about it a lot here, and some other stuff in digital marketing. Social media is so powerful because it's both. It is active when you post something on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and your website, and when you do, it's active marketing, but then it becomes passive marketing. So it goes from active to passive, okay? And so the idea is that unless it was in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. If it was in Miami, it never happened, according to Pitbull. But other than that, if you put it on social media and you don't delete it, 6 months from now, it's still there and people will see it. So these events I'm talking about, I'm going to do office hour next week. You put that on Eventbrite. You put that on your website. You put that in the email newsletter. You share it on LinkedIn. And guess what? No one comes. But 6 months from now, it's still there. Okay. So let's see. So Genesis said they're offering us a constant contact. They're offering us constant contact. Do you recommend them? I think they said it's $20. Yeah. So yes, I highly, highly recommend Constant Contact. I was Constant Contact's first brand ambassador in the United States of America. And I was brand ambassador for Constant Contact for, I believe, 8 years. I spoke at all kinds of conferences on behalf of Constant Contact. So I highly recommend that. I also highly recommend Robly, R-O-B-L-Y. Robly is a great platform too. It depends what you're trying to do. I like Constant Contact because they have customer service. You just call in anytime you want and they'll help you. There's also MailChimp. MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 contacts. So if you're like, David, I don't even have an email list. I don't even have a friend. My mom won't even let me send her an email. Well, then start with MailChimp because it's totally free for the first 2,000 contacts. But once you get around, if you're using these, like sending out at least once a month and start using it, then what's going to happen is, they're all about the same. And now Constant Contact, Tracy said Constant Contact customer service is fantastic. It is fantastic. And basically my experience is when we're working on an email newsletter, something always happens like, why is it upside down? And then you call Constant Contact and they fix it for free for you. Okay. All right. So then Rosanna said, what is the optimal amount of contacts you should aim for in your email list and MailChimp? Okay. So when it comes to email newsletter contacts, it's just like LinkedIn. It's not about what's the optimal amount. It's just collecting. If you have a retail store, you want to get the emails from all the people coming in. Okay. If you own a hotel, or a restaurant, you want to try to get all the emails from all the reservation systems, Open Table, Yelp, whatever. If you're a bar, you want people to say, we have bingo night, we have this, we have that, or we have VIP events. Give us your email, we'll invite you. You want to get emails. My email list pre-COVID was 35,000, not 3,500, 35,000 people. And because I host a lot of events. I hosted over 50 events a year for about 11, 12 years. I've hosted over 50 events per year in person. Like I do a monthly happy, but then 2020, I stopped doing this, man. But yeah, I enjoy my consulting and strategy and growing companies. That's my number one thing. But on the side, and I have employees and they run my event company. And so I hosted every single month at the W Hotel in San Francisco. I hosted a happy hour, 60, 80 people. I did one at the SLS Beverly Hills too. That was a really good one. I did in Vegas. I've done it all over Portland, but in San Francisco, every single month, 3.5 years, W Hotel. Then I did bigger events I did in 2019, I did 5 at Google headquarters. That was about, anywhere from 150 to 300 people. And I did, 2020 was 5 at Google headquarters, 2 at Twitter headquarters, 3 at Yelp headquarters. And those are big events like restaurant tech, fashion tech, cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence. I just make up the topics, and then people come network, and then I moderate a panel of founders, or I talk. And those events are just like, because I do such big events and so many people, my email list just gets big because people register and sign up. And that's part of why you want to do Eventbrite and do things like that. If you're just, it's hard to build an email list with you're not doing events like that. But in general, it doesn't matter how many people you have on your email list, you just send it out once a month. And January is Happy New Year. Here, I'll back up. November, this is the time of year to be thankful. December is Happy Holidays. January is Happy New Year. That's 3 right there. And they're so easy. It's like, and then what? Now next year, you're going to change them? No, it's the same thing. It's still being thankful. It's still Happy Holidays, and it's still Happy New Year. Okay, those are that's 3 out of 12. Now the other ones, the other 9, depends on your business. If you do real estate, you're going to talk about time to buy homes. If you do stuff related to education, you're going to talk about schools back in session. If it doesn't matter if there's a virus or not, there's a certain schedule that you follow. All right. So personally, Arlene said, personally, I'm inundated with emails. I rarely open them. Any tips on getting people to actually open them? No, it doesn't matter if people open them or not. That's the point. The point is, Ariel, that you still see them. If I send you an email from my email newsletter, whether it's Constant Contact, MailChimp, or Obly, you still see David Mitroff and you see the subject line. So if my subject line is buy my crap, that doesn't work. My subject line is you are invited. Wow, David's always inviting me to such nice things. Even though I charge you $100, I'm still inviting you, okay? Or happy holidays. Oh, David's so nice. Wish me happy holidays. So now to get people open, yeah, you can do little things like you have the from David Mitroff subject line, and then there's the pretext. You can write a little bit of the pretext so that it's on their phone or on their computer. They see a little bit of it, and that says something like, "We are excited to partner with Google to do it." And they're like, "What? Well, David's partnering with Google," and then they're going to open it, stuff like that. All right. And then Rosanna says, "Is there a charge to get an event on Eventbrite?" No. So you create a free Eventbrite profile. If your event is free, it's free. If you host an event and actually get paid, someone gives you money, then Eventbrite takes 2.5%. Okay. And there's extra dollar, whatever. But the point is, you do active marketing, do passive marketing. Social media is both. That's what I'm going to talk about a lot. However, this is a major problem. However, you need to be consistent across every single platform and ask for the same thing. If you're not consistent, it confuses people. So to be consistent, what has Tracy said? What have I said? We keep saying over and over, schedule a free call with me, or if not, apply to get to be able to talk to a free advisor at the EDC. The EDC and SBDC have so many advisors. If you don't like bald guys, there's other people. If you want to talk about marketing, loans, finance, you want to talk about lease negotiations, you want to talk about business plans, you want to talk about, there's so many advisors. So talk about international trade, talk about import export, talk about expansion, there's just so many advisors. So you can apply for free, and we get paid, we're paid experts to give you advice. And it's through the federal government, the SBA, the Small Business Administration gives money to every state gives money to every county has a host, in this case EDC, and then EDC gives money out to that. So it's like all this is for you to grow business, to create jobs, grow businesses. All right, so schedule a free call. So if the schedule a free call is what we keep saying, then that's so all the platforms have to say that everywhere, which they do for the EDC. Now for you and your business, let's say you're the zoo. What do you want people to do? You want people to donate? You want people to come visit the zoo? What do you want people to do? Well, you have to come up with very clearly what you want them to do. You're a restaurant or you sell chocolate, you want them to buy chocolate, or you want to make an RSVP to your restaurant. So you have to make it really clear. If I go to your website homepage, do you tell me exactly what to do? And I can tell you right now, there are 46 people on here. Out of 46 people on here, I guarantee you I'd say 30 out of 46. If I were to pull up your website right now, you only have your contact information on your contact page. And on your contact page is a form and says, fill out this. okay? Versus all 46 of you need to have on your homepage, call us today at, and put your phone number right there. But David, I don't want people to call me. I guess you don't want business then. Well, David, they keep calling and annoying me. Yeah, well, that's the way it works. I mean, because here's the order. The order is they show up to your house. Okay, this is kind of creepy. Why are you at my house? They show up to your business. The next is they call you. The next is they schedule a call. That's the link that we keep putting in the chat. Schedule a call, schedule a call, schedule a call. So show up to your house, show up to your office. It depends. If it's a restaurant, sure, but show up to your house, show up to your office, call you, schedule a call, email you, fill out your contact form. It's so low down. And all of you keep pushing me to go to the one page on your website and fill out a form. And then guess what? Did you know that 80% of psychologists, I need help. I have a PhD in clinical psychology, by the way, but I need help. I'm depressed, blah, 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 blah. 80% of psychologists do not respond to the contact form that people filled out. And on top of that, let's say someone comes, David, you have problems. I do? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you need to get help. So really? Okay. All right. I'll go look. What do I need help with? Maybe a new personal trainer. Okay, fine. So I go, yeah, I fixed it. Well, what'd you do? Oh, I filled out a contact form for a personal trainer. They're like, that doesn't count. Versus I went, oh no, I'm good. I scheduled a meeting with a personal trainer. Oh, really? Good job, David. See? Okay. Oh no, I called and I left a voicemail. Well, that doesn't count. So that's why I like scheduling a tool. There's I'll put it in the chat, but there's vcita.com. Then there's Cogsworth, and then there's Calendly that I can never spell. Calendly, like that, something like that. So those three all do the same thing. They allow people to schedule a free call, schedule a call with you, okay? And it looks at your calendar, it looks and it syncs it up and sends them a text and everything. So the point is you need to tell people what to do on your website. Tell people what to do on Yelp. Tell people what to do on Google. Tell people what to do in general and say it over and over and over. And they might go, oh. So in that email newsletter that you send out, in the email newsletter, Lexi says that Calendly has saved her sanity. Well, there you go. Okay. So I've had experience where we have a client, we say put Calendly on, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, all this back and forth, all those emails. When can you meet? Oh, I can meet. Oh, no, back and forth. All of a sudden those are all done. They just, how about this time or use my Calendly? And the people go, oh, no problem. They use Calendly. Bam, done. So many less emails. Okay. All right. So the point was what? You have to have a clear call to action that all these things go to. And then if it's a restaurant, make an RSVP, come in. If it's a zoo, come in, give us money, donate, stuff like that. If it's the friends of a library, come to the library. There's actually books in there and other stuff. And then maybe it goes to a face-to-face meeting, depending on the type of business. All right. I know I spent a lot of time on this slide. It's being recorded. I can go through this one by one with each one of you and your business. But you have to offer something. Why are they going to give you their email for their email newsletter? Why are they going to call you? You have to offer either discounts, which I don't really like, downloads. I'll send you a PDF copy of my book. B2B, business to business. So B2B is business to business. B2C is business to customer, business to consumer. So B2B, business to business, that is, if you schedule a free call with me, I'll walk you through how to grow your business. I mean, or if you schedule a free call, we'll do or so you have to offer, and then hints and tips. So if you give me your email, I'll send you the 10 best ways to reduce brain injury or whatever it is. Support a cause. Give us your email so we can invite you to special events that are fundraising events for the zoo. The night shows and stuff like that. And then you have events. At the bar, give us your email. We'll invite you to special events at our bar. At the restaurant, give us your, brewery. We're going to do special brew nights. Send us, we're going to do home brew nights. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Give us your email. We'll invite you to those events. So there has to be some kind of call to action. All right. So any questions about any of this? I know that was a lot, but any of that before I move into data-driven marketing. The whole point is that hopefully you're getting at least one thing that you can do. All right. So data-driven marketing is a course I've taught. I think it was a 15-hour course that I taught several times at UC Berkeley. I'm going to do it in like 4 minutes for you. Okay. So when it comes to data-driven marketing, or marketing in general. Don't just make up marketing. There has to be reasons why you're doing what you're doing. So if you're going to advertise on Yelp or advertise on Google or advertise on any platform, why are you doing it? Okay. Because I'll try it. No, you have to measure. Okay. So there's three main areas. There's non-financial, which is the classic is I'm not going to go through it, but test drive, car dealership. You go and you test drive the car. So how can people test drive your services or your business? What can they do? That's why you do a free call. Or that's why you do a little mini assessment where you charge them like $500 and do some kind of assessment. Or that's where they come in and they try, or that's where you do the San Francisco Zoo, for example. You can go to the parking lot, and from the parking lot, there's a window and you can actually see some of the animals in there. Like, oh, wow, that's so cool. So how can people test drive your product, service, or whatever? Customer satisfaction. Are people happy? The golden rule is, the golden question is, how likely are you to refer us to a family or friend? 0 to 10, that kind of thing. So how are people happy? Okay. And how do you get people to stay happy? Okay. That kind of stuff. So again, how can people test drive your product? That's really important. And then how often do you check, and how do you check if people are happy? All right. Next is financial metrics. Of course, are you making money or not? That kind of stuff. And if you run an ad somewhere, does it lead to you getting more money? Okay. And you have to, that's why you have to ask them, where'd you find us? I Googled you. Yeah, but what did you Google? Oh, this is it. Well, that's actually TripAdvisor, So, okay. So the biggest one on this is customer lifetime value. So what is the total dollar amount that a person spends over their lifetime with you? And there's different ways to look at this. If you're looking at, the average person comes in, spends $5 each time they come here. They come twice a week. They come for 3 years. Okay, well, let's introduce a unicorn drink. Unicorn drink, fairy dust comes out of things and whatever, and that's causes them to spend instead of $5 for a couple of weeks. They spend $8 every time they come in. So we made a little bit more. The other is, in a consulting business like mine, something like the average client stays with my company, let's say, I'll say 9 months. Okay. Well, if I know that and it's month 8 and the average client stays 9 months, then I know, next month they might not be client one. So in month 8, I need to tell them, this is the time when I do a 90-day plan with all my clients. And I map out a 90-day plan. So guess what happens? Month 8 is right now. I'm saying we're going to map out a 90-day plan for the next 3 months, basically. So then I go from 8, so then I got 9, 10, 11. So I'm setting up a plan to keep them 1 more month or 2 more, 1 or 2 more extra months than people normally stay. Okay. So you got to look at what's the average lifetime of a customer, the average spend, and also how long they actually stay with you, and what techniques or things can you do to increase the amount that they spend. Okay. You look at, you can also look at when people come into your bar or restaurant, how can you increase their the amount of spend? And that someone talked about the Mexican restaurant stuff in El Restaurante magazine, which is the leading magazine for Mexican restaurant industry. And there I actually wrote about and talked about introducing side dishes as a way to increase the value, the customer lifetime value. And also it also helps people come back because, for example, I don't know if you've had, there's pomponzos. It's like this real soft bread with like chorizo and potatoes, and it's just this little sandwich with soft potatoes, and it is so good. And most people have not had that, in my experience. So what you do is you make little mini ones, and you make that a little appetizer thing, or you maybe give a little mini one to customers that are regulars for free. And they're gonna be like, "This is amazing!" And guess what? They can't get that other places. They can't get that at Chevy's or something. They can get it from you. Or you give them, my parents go to this Middle Eastern or Persian restaurant all the time, and they get their lamb and their hummus, all this stuff. And the lady one time brought them a Shirazi salad, which is like a cucumber salad. It's really good. And she brought it, and she said, this is from me to you. I appreciate you guys coming here a lot, and put it on the rice, and you'll love it. So my parents have bought that now for the life. I mean, that was like, I think we got it free once, probably like 6 years ago. They go there like at least twice a month, if not more, and they've paid for it ever since. So there's certain strategies that you want to think about, okay, to increase customer lifetime value. because that increased customer satisfaction, give them a little thing for free. Cucumbers doesn't cost very much, and it increased customer lifetime value. This is brilliant. Okay, and that's why I wrote about it in the magazine. New age marketing. That's where it moves into measuring website traffic. How often do people click? Are you getting return on your investment? Stuff like that. And all these platforms, they're all set to track all this. All right. So with that being said, the internet is all about being tracked. They know everything. Why? It's really odd when you're just like a car goes by that's brand new. Like, wow, that's a nice car. That's a Maserati, or that's a new Ford Bronco. Oh wow, cool. That's neat. And then later that day, you're on your Gmail or on your phone, and it pops up, David, the new Ford Bronco. It's like, what? It's like these things are reading our minds. They literally are, because they're reading all the stuff. They hear all the stuff. They know where we're at. They listen to our conversations. All this stuff. So it's totally tracked. Okay. Now you can turn off some of it, but in general, if that's the case, we might as well take advantage of that. So when it comes to all this social media, all this stuff, there's so much data. We need to get it and then just make business decisions based on it and make adjustments. All right. So with that being said, I have my 9 key areas of your online presence. And this came from, I was in San Francisco going door to door, cold calling, knock, knock. Hi, I'm David. I do marketing. I do business growth strategies. I believe that if your business, real estate, insurance, attorney, restaurant, literally I went door to door to all of them, dentist's office. If you increase your online presence, if you do a better job on Yelp, Google, LinkedIn, etc., Facebook, whatever, you will get more customers. And they all told me, go away. You're wasting my time. You're bothering me. These platforms are annoying. I said, no, but for real, if I help you, they're like, no, get out of here. So it took me 2 years. And I finally came up with this, you can see the chart behind this book a little bit, of the 9 key areas. And I scored the entire street. This is the Marina and the Union District, Union Street area, the Marina of San Francisco. I scored that whole street. I went and I looked. Do they have a website? Yes or no? Does the website have this? Yes, yes, yes. So 0, no website. So if you're on here right now and you do not have a website, I will walk you through how to make one real fast in a minute. If you do not have a website, you do not have a business. Okay? You're like, but David, no, I have a business. No, you don't. But David, I have a Facebook. I have no website, you do not have a business. No website, no business. Period. Why? Because people always say, what's your website? Well, I'm working on it. No website, no business. The first thing you need to do this weekend is make a 1-page website. I'll walk you through how to do that in a minute. Okay. But let's say you have a website. Does the website have this? The more it has, the closer to 100 it gets. So I went and then I scored the whole street. I went there and showed them their card. Hey, I scored your business. You're 300 out of 900. That's an F, but hey, I scored your business. Then I had the Excel spreadsheet of the whole street. Everybody cared more about that. They wanted to see who's better than them. I showed them and they go, oh yeah. I said, look, they have better looking customers, more money. They're happier. They smile more than you. They're like, you're right, David. They do. Okay, fine. I need to improve my score. I said, yeah. And they all started hiring me. Okay, it was like crazy. They all started hiring me and I started working on their businesses and improving their scores. And then next month, 2 months later, I printed on a new card. I could show, here's where you're at. Here's where you're at now. Your score's higher. And guess what? You have more customers, more money, you're smiling. So it works. So I'm going to go through these 9 areas and I want you to think about your organization, your business. You can also do it on yourself too, on David Mitroff, on yourself. Where are you on these 9 areas? 0 to 100. And what are some areas you can work on? Now, somewhere around here, maybe a little bit later, but somewhere usually pretty similar, pretty around this area, people start freaking out, going, David, when am I supposed to do this? I don't have time for this. I'm getting very anxious. And you're telling me I have to do all this? No. At least send an email newsletter that no one reads. It's not that hard. At least invite people to an event that no one comes. Not that hard. At least, create a 1-page website, which I'll show you in a second, that no one goes to. Not that hard. But at that point, you have a website, you have an email newsletter, and you have an event page. And at least create a free Yelp and a free Google. Now you have a free Yelp and a Google. That's 5 things. That's the core to your online presence. Yeah, but David, don't have to maintain and update. No, just at least do that. And if you did that, you will get more business. I don't care who you are, what you do. If you just do those things, very basic, it's hard not to get more business. Okay, especially if you tell people to call you on your website. Oh, David, I don't want people to call me. Well, then you won't get any business. But so let me go through the 9 key areas, and if you have questions, I will answer them. Number 1. Number 2, keep in mind the 52. Now we have 52 people on here. There's a recording of this entire presentation. You will get a copy of this presentation. Every single person on here can schedule a free call with me or other advisors at the Small Business Development Center, the EDC. Okay. We'll put chats. We'll put links to schedule calls. Let me put it in here. I'll put right here. If you're already an SBC client, that's the link to schedule a free call with me. If you're not an SBC client, I'm putting in the chat. This is the link to sign up for free services. Not that hard. You say, I have a business. I'm in Santa Barbara County, Ventura County, where I want to talk to somebody about creating jobs, growing my business, whatever it is. And you want to talk to me about marketing, business growth strategies. You want to talk to somebody else about financial stuff. You want to talk to somebody else about whatever. There's so many advisors. There's probably over 40 of us. Okay. And we're paid to give you guys free advice. You then go do what we agree that you're going to do. And then you come back, say, I did it. And I can talk to you again. And the things that you're going to do are going to ideally create jobs, keep jobs, increase your revenues, start companies, things like that. Okay. And expand. All right. So with that being said, website, I put in the chat for everybody. Rosanna said, so true to Jonathan. Jonathan said, we are a nonprofit volunteer org, have to pick and choose what we can attempt due to our, yeah, of course. So Jonathan, when it comes to picking and choosing what you do, the biggest thing that you want to do is stay top of mind. Okay. So staying top of mind, that's the email newsletter. Because if you don't send out a monthly newsletter, even nobody reads it, people are going to start forgetting about you. And you, in particular, you want to send an email newsletter to just the volunteers. Okay. So you send one to the whole group and the volunteers get that. So the volunteers get that once a month. In addition, the volunteers get one additional one once a month. David, we don't have time to do that. No, don't worry about what's in it. All you're doing is sending it out once a month. And if it's the zoo, for example, put a picture of one of the animals. Oh, we just had a new baby. So exciting. The volunteers will get off on it and they'll be more energized to volunteer more. Okay. It's just that staying top of mind. That's the number one thing you can do. That's very easy. The next thing is making sure that if someone goes to your website, that it has the volunteer button on the website. If the volunteer button is really hidden, why would people volunteer? You can literally say, right now, it's really hard to find staff at restaurants and bars in particular. I work with a lot of them. So what I've had and what works really well is I go to your restaurant website and I'm looking at the menu, looking across the entire website on every single page. It says, we are hiring, call us right now or email us your resume. We are hiring for all positions. And it's like, oh, I'm on their website. Even me, I'm like, well, geez, that sounds like, I like their food. I like them. Maybe I should work there. So just by putting, we're always looking for volunteers. Email here, call us here, show up on volunteer day. It makes a difference. All right. So website or blog. So these are the key things that you want to do. If you do not have a website, you need to make a one-page website. One page. Do not overthink it. I'm going to tell you right now, Carlos. Great question. One-page website. Wix.com, Squarespace, or WordPress. Okay. So I'll put it in the chat for everybody. So Wix, Wix.com, Squarespace. Did I spell it right? I don't know what's going on over here. Squarespace and WordPress. All three of them. They have free version and paid version. So Wix.com, Squarespace. You can go right this second. I mean, I've done it live. Just bam, 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 bam. 5 minutes later, I got a one-page website. Okay. Shopify for selling goods, yes, but you can sell goods on Wix, Squarespace, and WordPress too. It depends how many, it depends how many products you're selling, what you're doing. Shopify, which I've been trained in, it uses Liquid and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's more complex and it's more involved to set up. If you don't have anything at all, at least make a one-page website on Wix, Squarespace, or WordPress. Wix and Squarespace, you literally just drag in WebNote, Savannah. I've heard of it, but you can use it. But just I'm trying to make your life easy. Just and then I'll move on. But what you want is a one-page website On the one-page website, you want a picture of yourself or your product or a zebra or a coffee bar or chocolate bar or whatever. And then you want a paragraph that says, we are a Santa Barbara-based chocolatier who specializes in creating, this kind of chocolate, that kind of chocolate. Okay. We are, so the name, David Mitroff, or the name of the company, EDC is an economic development center, is a whatever, based, is based in this city that specializes in 1, 2, 3. We look forward to talking to you. Call us now at, put the phone number. But David, I can just say contact us and fill the contact form. No, or call us now at this, or use our self-scheduling tool right here. Okay. If you really don't want us to follow up with you, or if you're really not that serious, or you don't really want to make a change, then fill out our contact form. Okay. Because that if someone calls you and you're on the phone with them, they're way more likely to buy. So Shauna says, gotcha. Can you help? Can help but mention my chocolate store in Ventura, the Harbor. Oh, okay. It's called the Harbor. So fine. The Harbor chocolate store. Okay. So what you want to say is the Harbor is a boutique chocolate chocolatier and chocolate store, chocolate shop in Ventura, that specializes in this and this. Come visit. We are conveniently located on ABC Road, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my bad. It's called Top This Chocolate in Santa Barbara. Fine. So Top This Chocolate in Santa Barbara is a da 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 da. Okay. And we specialize 1, 2, 3. Stop into the store or call us today to book your custom chocolate catering order, or to book a chocolate catering, a chocolatier class. Okay. Something like that. So you have your picture of the store, of your chocolate, of your product, whatever, of your paragraph, and then call us. If you do that, and it's go to Wix, Squarespace, it's free. They'll have an ad on the bottom. If you pay $15 a month, there'll be no ad. Now you're good. Now you can always add more. But what happens is people overthink all this stuff, and they want to do 6 pages, 7 pages, 10 pages, and they want this, and want that, and want this, and want that, and it will take 10 years to get it done. Okay, so just get it done. All right. So it's the hub to your entire strategy: Wix, Squarespace, things like that. All right. So why do you want the website, and why do you want to say Santa Barbara chocolatier? Blah, blah, because search engine optimization, SEO, search engine optimization, is keywords, key phrases, pictures, stuff like that on your website. Conversion rate optimization is CRO, conversion rate. What that means is, that's great. You got people to come to your website because you have keywords, key phrases, whatever. Conversion rate is no one does anything because you don't tell them what to do. You got to have a clear call to action, tell people what to do. And then you will convert. More people will call. How many people visit your website? How many people call? All right. Then you have online directories. Online directories is stuff like Google. That's the big one. So for free, you need to set up your Google listing. If you don't want to put your home address, don't put your home address. You don't have to. But you got it. But put it at like Santa Barbara, Ventura, whatever it is. Okay. So if you don't know how to do this, go to Google and Google, get my business on Google. If you Google, get my business on Google, Google will have an ad, which doesn't cost them anything. And it says, get your business on Google. You click that, and it says, what's the name of your business? You put it, and next thing you know, you're on Google for free. Okay. Google's going to say, what's your website? And you're going to say the one I just made. Google's going to say, what do you do? You're going to put the same paragraph that you just put on the one-page website. Google's going to say, do you have any pictures? Yeah, you're going to put the picture of the chocolate that you put on your website. So now your website and Google both say the same thing. They both have the same picture, and they both, Google's saying, what's the call to action? Both have the same call to action, schedule a call. So now you're set. Then you go to Yelp and other review sites, do the exact same thing. Yelp's going to say, what's your website? And if you tell Yelp you do not have a website, Yelp is going to tell you, I've seen it, they'll send you an email back saying, well, then you don't have a business. No website, no business. So Yelp is going to say, what's your website? You tell them. What's the picture? You put the same picture. What's your paragraph about who you are? You put the same paragraph. Genesis asked, if we are planning to have different locations, would it be better to have the website as just the name, like, iPhone repair, or with the main location as whatever, Oxnard, and then make different websites for each location. So that really depends how far apart these places are and what's going on and what your business model is. But in general, I have offices in LA. I have an office in Los Angeles, and I have offices in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. And I have addresses, and I have offices, but I have my main site for my consulting firm, and on my main site it has on the contact page has all the addresses and offices I have, and then I have my main I have www whatever website.com, and I have /LA/Oakland/ whatever. However, for Google and Yelp, I have separate locations on Yelp and Google for each location. Yeah, but the website is one big website. Okay, my main website for my consulting firm is over 700 pages because there's a lot of content and a lot of search engine optimization, and I specialize in a lot of different things. And if you Google a lot of things, I will show up number one on Google. Okay, because I've done a lot of content, a lot of stuff. It depends on your strategy, but in general, it's good to have one big website that all of them link to, and different landing pages for the different sub locations. But you need, every location needs its own Google, its own Yelp. All right. But you can schedule a free call with me, and I can go through it and make sure and clarify what's best for you, because every business is different. One thing I want to talk about here on Yelp is let me pull up Yelp for everybody. Give me 1 second. What was the what's the zoo? What zoo is it? Is it Santa Barbara Zoo, or what is it? Santa, because I'll pull up your Yelp and I'll show you. It's the which one is it? Is it the Santa Barbara Zoo? SP Zoo? Looks like it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay, perfect. All right. So Santa Barbara Zoo, and they have a Yelp. Let me see.
Here, David, could you see about restarting your screen share? We're still seeing the PowerPoint slides.
Yep, no problem. I wasn't. I wanted to find first because I.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks so much.
All right. So so this is the Santa Barbara Zoo. Yeah, because I don't really want to show people random stuff until I find it. But thank you for saying. Okay, so the Santa Barbara Zoo. Everyone sees this, correct? All right. So the Santa Barbara Zoo has 2,037 photos. Okay. So what we want is, click on the Pelican. All right. So this says Santa Barbara Zoo. And so the Santa Barbara Zoo posted this picture, and they put Monte is the cutest. That is true. Monte is the cutest. Well, just don't tell that to his friends. Okay. But here's the deal. That's not good. You want to put Monte the Pelican at the Santa Barbara Zoo as the cutest. Or you want to put Monte is the cutest, ! Visit the Santa Barbara Zoo. Why? Because then if you had Santa Barbara Zoo and this, or visit Monte the Penguin at the Santa Barbara Zoo, you would have penguins, Santa Barbara Zoo. That would show up in Google. That would show up in Yelp. You'll get more traffic. If I Google Santa Barbara Zoo, this photo is not going to show up. But if you had labeled it here, it would have. So I know you have 2,000 photos, but a lot of them customers put. But the photos you put, Western Pond, okay, that's, yeah. So you could, giraffe feeding experience. Jennifer put that. Thanks, Jennifer. But Jennifer is not you. But if Jennifer had put giraffe feeding experience in Santa Barbara, that would have been huge, because it would have shown up in Google and Yelp and stuff like that. So, so if you, the zoo, are actually putting them, then you, the zoo, want to label them better. Okay. So if you're the business owner, you want 12 or more photos, and you want to label those 12 or more photos yourself as the owner. Okay. And you want to say things like bookkeeping services Santa Barbara. Why? Because that image, if I go to Google image search, it will show up that way. Okay. Next is categories. So there's right here, it says zoos. You're allowed 3 categories. So the guy that owns the bar, the 2 people that own bars and breweries, you need to have bar, then you need to have event space or venue space, and then you need to put something else. You got to have, I'm going to click on the word zoos, and I'm going to see what shows up. Petting zoo. Do you have a petting zoo there at the Santa Barbara Zoo? If you do, you better add that. And this Ostrich USA needs to add zoo. Okay, don't tell them because they're a competitor. But you have pets, event planning, petting zoo. You could put private events at the zoo because you do private events there. Horseback riding, petting zoos, Christmas tree. So zoos. So you want to add, if I was you, for the Santa, my bad. I meant to click this number. Let's make sure that you're, yeah, okay, I'm not one of them. Okay, so Santa Barbara Zoo, you want to put zoos, petting zoos, private events, okay? Or private event menu, that kind of thing. Someone put something in the chat. What did they put? Rosanna said, how do you get your business to the top of Google? We are a used bookstore, but when I Google search, the business address doesn't come up first. Okay, yeah, so that's where right now I'm telling you some of that. If you on your Yelp, you had 12 or more photos and you had a photo of the outside of the business and said, bookstore on this street in Santa Barbara. Then the next thing you said was a picture of some books, medieval history books, Santa Barbara. The next thing you did, if you label those 12 photos like that, that's going to help you. If on, then on Google, you do that. And on your website, you talk about, we have all kinds of books. So if you're in Santa Barbara looking for this kind of book, come here. If you're in this, look, and you just, and I can Google search and I'll show you. Okay, so 3 more categories. Next, this is all free. I'm not talking about paying it. If you're currently paying Yelp, for free, you need to schedule a call with me because I'm the highest level partner with them, and I can have them do an audit, and they will tell you what to change. Okay. And if you're not advertising on Yelp, don't advertise on Yelp until you do what I'm saying for free first. And if you want to review it with me, I can. Now, if you set up the stuff I set for free, 12 or more photos, 3 categories, and some of the other stuff I'm about to do, then you're getting calls. And you're like, David, I get a lot of calls and people are hiring me. Okay, well, that's great. Then if you're getting a lot of calls, people are hiring you, then you might want to advertise on Yelp. And if you do, then I can do a review, an audit of your Yelp, and I can have the Yelp headquarters people look at it and tell you what to do. I know they call you 10,000 times a day. I'm not talking about those people. Okay, I don't care about those people. They'll call and try to sell you a whole bunch of stuff you don't need. Let's see. Kelly said, for online virtual services throughout California, is it helpful to label pictures of yes? So you various cities. So yes, Kelly, you would have a picture and say financial services in this city, financial services in this city, or here's a happy people. We serve Northern California. We serve all of California. Here's us at some trade show in this city. Here's this, but more important, Kelly, was it Kelly? Hold on, where was it? It was Kelly. So yeah, so Kelly, more important is this next section down here is right here. There's 3 sections: specialties, history, and meet the manager. Because it's a zoo, it's kind of this way. If it was a bar, it's gonna have about the business. Okay. So it varies on who your industry, it slightly changes. But you have specialties, history, meet the manager. Okay, so good news is you actually filled out each section with like a sentence. Bad news is this is horrible. Okay, the bad news is this literally these need to be 5 to 4 times longer. Okay, you need to type in these sections until you cannot type anymore. It'll turn red, say no, you can't type anymore. This is fully searchable in Yelp and Google, fully searchable. Okay, so like right here, we have a giraffe feeding zoo train. Is that right? Or just no, just giraffe feeding, comma, zoo train, comma, back. Well, here, I'm going to do this. Giraffe feeding zoo train. Okay, watch this. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to put that in Google. Giraffe feeding zoo train. I don't know. You're going to see that you show up number 1 because I know it's because you have that in the about description. You actually have giraffe feeding zoo train. Okay, it's kind of crazy. Here, let me make it even. So if you're an Italian restaurant, okay, Italian restaurant, but you put that you make tacos, okay, you actually will start showing up. It's fully searchable. It works. It's crazy. So in those sections, you down here, come on, Mr. Computer, down here, right here, you need to put an average zoo visit lasts about this long, but many guests spend half the day. Oh, visitor, okay.
Right here, it does not say where you are. You have to say the Santa Barbara Zoo is located in Santa Barbara. What's great about the Santa Barbara Zoo is that the average visitor to the Santa Barbara Zoo lasts 2.5 hours. But many guests who are from all over the world, we have guests from as far away as we have guests from Los Angeles, from San Diego, from San Francisco, and from all over the world that visit our zoo. Some of the highlights of the Santa Barbara Zoo are the giraffe feeding, zoo train, this, like that. Then say, our zoo is also available for special events, birthday party. It's a great venue for birthday parties. So if you are in Santa Barbara or Ventura County or in Southern California and you're looking for a great birthday party, quinceañera, blah, blah, blah location, look no further than the Santa Barbara Zoo. And if you do that, you'll get way more traffic to your Yelp and to your more, okay? History. In the history, the Santa Barbara Zoo, great, is dedicated to preservation of life. If you are looking for volunteer opportunities in Santa Barbara County, look no further than blah. If you, for example, if you live in this city, and you're looking for something good to do that helps the community, volunteer at the Santa Barbara Zoo. The Santa Barbara Zoo, what we take great pride in are this. And then you talk about some more of the features and stuff like that. I just spilled on myself. Okay, then meet the manager. This needs to be 25 times longer. He type. It's all fully searchable keywords. So, okay, it's free. You don't need to pay for that. Next one is the COVID one. COVID, great job. You filled it out. Everybody needs to fill out the free COVID one. And the free COVID one, you can put a link to a website. You can put a phone number. You can say we're open. This was last updated June 21st, 2021. That's a long time ago. If I was you, I'd just go and update it again every once in a while, like right now. And then now it's going to say it was updated as of today. And that even if it was a couple of months, that's fine. But this is a long time. Okay. Kristen says, does it make sense to create a Yelp if you have a DTC product? I have no, direct. I don't know what that means. DTC product sold online with no physical retail locations, or is Google business enough? Direct to customer, direct to consumer. All right. So if you just mail stuff direct to consumer, yes, it doesn't hurt to have Yelp. Why? Because Yelp's very powerful, and Yelp links back to your website. Yelp linking back to your website is a very powerful backlink. Okay, Yelp is very powerful. Okay, doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. All right. So now, if you're the zoo, or a bar, or a restaurant, or a coffee shop, or a chocolate shop, the chocolate shop, or whatever, then excuse me, give me 1 second. Top this chocolate. If you're top this chocolate in Santa Barbara, or okay, whatever, then yes, you want to have your real hours. But if you're anybody else on here, the person that consults with Mexican restaurants, or by the way, talk to me because I do that too. Or the person that a financial advisor, or a bookkeeper, or you consult with on brain injury or what. Change these hours to like 8 in the morning till 8 at night every day of the week. Why? But David, I don't work Sundays. If you're open on a Sunday, you're going to show up on Google and Yelp when people are looking. If you're closed, it's not going to show up. You might as well say you're open. There's no physical location, but it's not a restaurant. So say you're open. If they call, they'll leave a voicemail. If you want to pick up, pick up. But by expanding your hours, it works. If you're a chiropractor, expand your hours on here. Why? Because people don't just show up for the chiropractic appointment. If they call and say, but I want a Saturday session. All my Saturdays are full. Kisanya asked, how do I get reviews? Okay, I'll talk about that. Patty said, what if you don't have a physical address? Can you do a Yelp or Google to the required address? Patty, the answer is yes, that you can do a Yelp. No, a Yelp and Google. No, they do not require a physical address. You kind of just say, you can put your home address. So on Google, you put the name of the city and the zip code, not the address. On Yelp. Oh no, I get confused. On Google, you check a box not to show your address. On Yelp, you just put the name of the city and the zip code. You don't put the actual address. Yeah, and they'll allow you to both. They'll allow you profiles. However, if you don't have a website and you don't have an address, they're both going to be like, you must be joking. Okay. Okay. So now let's keep going. Oh, hours. I like a chiropractor. I had the chiropractor put 8 to 8, grew his business so much. Because the problem is if you put, I only work Tuesday, Thursdays from 9 to 4 or 9 to 3. How are people ever going to be able to call you, make an appointment? It's not going to happen. All right. So again, 12 or more photos, 3 categories. Expand your hours if it's a service business and you don't have a location, you know, whatever that you don't have. People can don't just show up. Okay. And then these three areas really type a lot. Okay, more. And then the COVID, it's free. Make sure that the rest of this looks great. I mean, you ask questions. This is great. This is a really great. Now, how do you get reviews? Somebody asked that. Okay, how you get reviews is, well, let me ask you a question. When is the? Hold on one second. Give me 1 second to answer this.
We'll continue the presentation in just a minute. In the meantime, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We also have the Q&A box if that works for you too. And I know David will do his best to answer your question.
Sorry, hold on. Okay, so anyways, what was I gonna say? So seriously. Sorry about that. All right, so anyways, 12 or more photos, 3 categories, and then the sections. Let's see what people had some questions. Where are they? How do I find out? Oh, Arlene, you just register for free. Anyone can be a member of the SBDC, totally free. Our website ends at 1:30 today. Yeah, in 15 minutes. So anyone have any questions before I go back? Anything about Yelp? Oh, I was saying about reviews. So to get reviews, the main thing about reviews is when people are happy is right after they hired you. Literally, they hired you and they're like, that's the happiest. It's just like dating. The first time they meet you is the happiest. After that, it goes downhill fast. So you want to ask for reviews as soon as someone hires you. You haven't done anything for them. They just hired you. They're so excited. Say, you know, I'm really excited about working with you. You know, I know that I just did this initial assessment. I'm really excited. Can you go to Yelp and write me a 5-star review? Can you go to Google? Well, do you do this? Do you use Yelp? And they go, no. Well, then don't ask them for a Yelp review. It'll get filtered. If they say yes, then great. Ask them for a 5-star Yelp review. If they say, no, I don't use Yelp, then you say, great. Could you write me a 5-star Google review? And you send them the link. All right. So let's see. Where are we at? Arlene, you can also call our office. All right, cool. Good job, Tracy. All right. So then we got that. Stop share. We go back to the presentation. Go back to the PowerPoint. Go back to here. All right, so, sorry, my phone rang. It's all right, it happens. There's always something. All right, so social networks. So I covered a lot on Yelp because it's very relevant for most of the people on here based on who's on here. Then you have social networks. So social networks can be like Facebook and LinkedIn. Again, just set them up for free. You can have a free LinkedIn, a free Facebook. On your LinkedIn profile, you just want to list out, you know, who you are, what you do, and depending on your industry, you're going to do more or less on LinkedIn. Professionals are going to do a lot on LinkedIn. The zoo, not so much, but I can go through it one-on-one with anyone that wants to know. All right. But here, on a high level, is you want to have a custom URL up here where it says linkedin.com/in/David Mitroff. That's for free. Over here where it says about, things in the way. Over here it says contact David. When you logged in up there on the right, there's cogwheel, and you click that. It'll allow you to have for free linkedin.com/in/your name instead of linkedin.com/in123 ? Whatever. Title where it says under your name who you are. Yes, you're an intern at Apple. Everybody knows that. But add some texture. So I added on there. You know, someone said these 2 old guys said, David, you're really funny. Blah blah blah. And you should be a stand-up comic. And long story short, I put stand-up comic on here, and the next thing you know, it led to a TED talk. So, you know, so it adds some texture. It'll lead to opportunities. The summary, it's not on here. The summary, again, remember the paragraph that we talked about on your website? Whoop. San Francisco Bay Area, blah, 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 do this, 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 this. You want to put the same paragraph that's on your Google on your LinkedIn. So basically what you do is website paragraph, the paragraph goes on Yelp, Google, LinkedIn, LinkedIn company page. It goes everywhere. The only Twitter is smaller because Twitter's, you know, you can only write so much. The same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. If you put the same thing over and over and over and over and over, then what's going to happen is more and more people are going to find you. It's easier to show up. You're gonna, and when you say giraffe zoo over and over and over, you're going to be number one in Google for giraffe. Okay, and that's where the bookstore person was asked about the bookstore. If you literally say Santa Barbara bookstore, that specializes in this kind of book, this kind of book, this kind of book, over and over and over, it leads to opportunity. All right. So rich media is like things like YouTube or video, things like that. So YouTube's video, things like that. So I worked with Ben & Jerry's consulting for them a long time. We made these videos about Ben & Jerry's catering. You would think like, it's ice cream, you know, I mean, like we're going to come and we're going to serve you ice cream, you know? So, but then when we did this at Zynga, you know, where they make Farmville, Zynga headquarters, we did a big event, we videoed it, I put it everywhere. All of a sudden we got way more catering because people were like, oh, that's what Ben & Jerry's catering looks like. I was like, you know, hello, but so videos make a big difference. So if I go to your website and there's a video of you saying this is what we do, or there's a video of you making chocolate, or video of the zoo, or video of this, you'll get more traffic to your website because the videos, people watch videos, you get and just gonna get and it's search engine optimized. The video is about the Santa Barbara Zoo, the website's about the Santa Barbara Zoo. Google goes, oh, that makes sense. They're both about the Santa Barbara Zoo. We'll send more people there. And then people go there and they stay longer because people watch videos. They don't read anymore. They just sit there and watch videos of giraffes. And since they watch videos, you're going to get more and more traffic because more and more people go and more, and it's going to lead to opportunities. And the video does a much better job of that paragraph that paragraph. You just read that into a video and more people buy your stuff because apparently they understand that better than it's crazy, but it works. All right. Mobile apps. If you set up everything I said correctly, you have a one-page website, you have a Google, you have a Yelp, you have a this, you have that, then what ends up happening is your mobile device is set up correctly. The VC, the self-scheduling tool. So you don't need to go make your own mobile app. That's not what I'm talking about. Like here, VC, the self-scheduling tool, or Constant Contact allows you to text to join the list. So it is setting up all these things correctly. Now you're correct on mobile devices. And about 60% of people right now use mobile devices when they are when they're searching. So you need to make sure that your website, everything is set up right. And if you use the Wix, the Squarespace, or the WordPress, they are responsive designs so that when they tablet, phone this, it automatically adjusts. Okay. Industry specific are sites like, you know, like local industry newspapers. If you're doing construction, that might be like House or Home Advisor. If you're doing real estate, it might be Zillow. So there's industry specific sites that you want to be on. And guess what? They're going to say, what's your website? What's your phone number? What's your paragraph? And you're going to put the exact same stuff. And all this boosts your social media and online presence. Okay. And all links back to your website, and you'll get more and more traffic. And you say the same thing over and over and over. Okay. Also for industry specific, you're going to do ads. Give me 1 second. Give me one more second. I'll be. So, okay. So then you have then you want to nominate yourself for awards. Okay. What I mean by don't nominate yourself for fake awards, like real awards. So for example, if you're a zoo, which you are, or you're a chocolatier, which you are, what you do is you nominate yourself for awards for zoos or for chocolate things, and you might accidentally win. Okay. And if you nominate, you can put, hey, we accidentally won something. This is great. Or if you get nominated by yourself or nominated by other people, that's great for, and guess what? All those nomination sites, you know, the best of this, best of that, best of this, all of them link back to your website. They all want your paragraph. They all want a photo. So it's good for them, good for you, good for everybody, and links all around. Okay. And again, depending on who you are, what your industry is, we can have a one-on-one call, and I can go through what I would do if I was you to grow your business. I know it's a lot. I'm talking fast. I cover a lot of stuff. But the thing is that I'm just trying to get you to think about, gosh, there's so many different things I could do to grow my business. And you don't have to do all these things, but it's like, pick one that excites you. But just keep in mind, I keep literally saying the same thing over and over and over. Picture, paragraph, clear call to action, right? And if you, and a website, one-page website, which you can always add more to later. If you do that over and over and over and over, you will start showing up all over Google. And I've done this. I had a Spanish tutor in LA. I walked her through, do this, this, this. She set up, also bam, phone ringing like crazy. Now she hired 2 employees, okay? Or somebody's like, nobody knows that we do brunch. Well, then you need to say, we do brunch on your website. You got to put a picture of brunch and label it on the website, on Yelp, on Google, on everything, and then start going through, nominate yourself for brunch awards. The next thing, oh, geez, David, our brunch is so popular. Yes, because you talked about your brunch. It sounds like it sounds like it's actually that easy. If you don't tell people you do brunch and you don't put pictures of brunch and you don't talk about brunch on Yelp, talk about brunch on Google, talk about brunch on, then why would anyone know you do brunch? Okay, why would anyone know that you do private events at the zoo if you don't say that you do private events there? Okay, or birthday parties or whatever. Okay, so event promotion is the last one, and it brings it all together. The idea is that you can do events and invite people, whether they show up or not. It's not as important. It's you're bringing it all together, because when you do an event, you're going to say, I'm going to do office hours, I'm going to do a happy hour, I'm going to do a little workshop on something. You promote that across all the platforms. You put it on your website. You put it on Google. Yelp has a space for that. You put it on Facebook. You put it on Instagram. You put it on your LinkedIn. You put it in your email newsletter. You put it here. You put it there. You invite everybody you know you invite everybody to the event. It works, okay? And so this is awesome, and it brings it all together, all right? All right. So you can set up a marketing calendar, and that is the last thing I'm going to talk about. I kind of talked about at the beginning. I don't think everyone was here, but you can set up a marketing calendar. And a marketing calendar is the idea that every single one of these activities that we talked about repeat. So what I mean by that is, at the end of every year at the zoo, you have this event, this event, this event. Every year at the chocolate store, you have this event, this event. Every year at the bookstore, you have this event, this event, this event. Whether it's virtual or in person, you have events. And what you do is you promote those events, okay? And year round, and invite people and engage people. And if you have events, like I was just saying, you can put them on every single one of the platforms. So by mapping out each month what you're going to be doing, it brings it all together. It makes it like so easy. So again, November is being thankful. December is happy holiday. January is happy new year. February might be Valentine's. June is we're excited about summer. September, going back to school. So it just repeats year after year after year. Okay. All right. So we don't want to cover this. We don't care about that. All right. So next steps. So today, what are you going to do out of the things I talked about? Do you have a one-page website? Yes. Well, I have more than one page, David. Great. Is your website, do you have a clear call to action? Do you tell people what to do? Okay. Next, how are you ranking on those 9 areas I went through? Do you need to do more, less? What areas could you work on? Do you want to schedule a free call with me or another advisor, and we'll walk you through stuff? And then next, attend more workshops. EDC does tons of workshops, right? Next is, what is your plan for 2022? How are you going to grow your business? What offerings are you going to have? So again, I know I covered a lot. This is recorded. You'll get a copy of this presentation. If you want a PDF of one of my books, I can send it to you. If you want to schedule a free call with me or another advisor, you can. And so I think I covered everything. Yeah. So then Tracy can conclude, and I will stop sharing after she talks about this for a second.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. We have a couple of extra minutes here. So while I'm going through some of our final information, if you do think of a final question you want to get in, you can include it in the chat. So first of all, I just really want to thank David. I mean, not only for your time today, but you've also been super committed as one of our SBDC advisors, and you help small businesses, and your work is just incredibly impressive. And we're really thankful for you sharing your experience with all of us today. So I will reiterate that if you want to work with David and you're not already a client at our center, you can use the Calendly link that's going to be put in the chat. Stephanie should be putting in that link in just a second. And if you aren't sure if you're a client, it's no problem. You're also welcome to call our main line at 805-409-9159. Again, that's 805-409-9159. And this will set you up for your intake appointment with one of our intake specialists, and you can let them know that you want to work with David. But if you know you're already a client with our center, then you can use the live CETA link to set up a special meeting with David. And as he mentioned, in addition to helping with digital marketing, our EDC Small Business Development Center consultants are ready to help answer all the questions that you have to help you navigate today's incredibly complex business environment. You can access no-cost advising in finance, operations, human resources, international trade, and the list goes on because we do have that incredibly talented roster of business advisors available to you. You're also more than welcome to meet with multiple advisors at the same time, one after another. There's not a limit here. So if you need marketing and, for example, finance assistance, you can have both. So if you want to meet with David, you can check out the links that are in the chat, and we're happy to help get you connected to the best advisor for you. So let's see, I think you may have had an extra question in the chat. Yes, it looks like Lester wanted to know, David, how do you feel about using telemarketers for cold calling?
Yeah, you can do that, but you have to do it yourself first. You know, don't just hire some company to do it because it's not going to work. You have to test everything out yourself and see what works. Because when it comes to those scripts and all kinds of stuff, it's you got to test yourself. That's my experience. But I've used telemarketers. I've used all kinds of people. But you want to test. You want it because if not, it's going to be just a waste of time and waste of money. So you really want to try out things yourself first.
That makes sense. Thank you for the input on that. All right, if we don't have any other questions, not to fear, you can still meet with David, so it's no problem if you aren't getting it in today. So as I mentioned, we're going to send you a follow-up email with the recording of today's presentation, PowerPoint slides, and again, the contact information on how to get started as a client. And we really thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.